Hello everyone. So this is my second time filming this because 10 minutes is too short to talk about the books and I talk a lot. So I'm going to be a bit shorter than this and talk to you about the books I've read in September. And so the first book I read in September was a reread on my Kindle, which is Tweet Cute by Emma Lord. This is a YA contemporary romance. It's about Twitter war between two restaurants. One is a small local one, the other one is a very huge company, and they're tweeting it like at war on Twitter. And the two people running these accounts are two teenagers who actually know each other in real life. They go to school together and they have something else going on. It was cute. It was what I needed. It was fun, and yeah, I gave it 4 stars. Second book I finished, which I did not start in September, I started it way before that, is my workbook. Because like I told you, sometimes when I work, when I'm on a computer with internet and when I have time, I read a few pages here and there of a series, which is the Selection series. And I finished the one by Kiera Cass, which is the end of the trilogy, because there are other books. I'm reading The Hair right now, and it follows other characters in the future. So I finished this. Well, it's still the same. It's dystopia YA from the 2000s. Actually, when was this published? I'm losing time. 2014. Okay, not 2000. I'm just too way in the past. I give it 3 stars. The main character gets on my nerves sometimes, always, but it was enjoyable. The ending was a bit weird, but that's okay. We're on to the third book I read in September, which I was very eager to. It took me a little while to read this because it's a chunky book. I'm not going to spoil it. So the book is, ta-da! Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare, which is like this, which is her first adult fantasy novel outside of the Shadowhunter world. So I was very curious about it. So the positive things I can say is that the writing is very mature. I really liked it. It's not, we see it's an adult fantasy in a YA, so it's cool. The characters were great. The setting was great. The magic system was interesting. It was all good. The only thing is, it's too long because it's too long for what it is, because I felt that this was an introduction to the world, because until like this part, nothing happens. They're just introducing us, she's just introducing us to the characters, to the world, to the magic system, the politics and everything. But nothing really happens. We know something is going to happen, and then the start of it is at the very end. So this was an introduction. This didn't require to be as long as 600 pages. 300 would have been fine. Nevertheless, I gave it, I think, 3.75 stars because it was good, but it didn't go to 4 stars just because it was too long. The next book I read, which is now the fourth one, was very hyped on social media, and so I decided to try it. It was on Kindle Unlimited, so why not? And this book is Quicksilver by Kelly Hart. So this book it was good. I mean, I enjoyed myself because it's everything I like. It's a romantasy, classic romantasy, but very classic in the sense that if you have read things like ACOTAR, you've already read this. It's the same thing. It's like there's so many tropes that you've seen everywhere. There's nothing original about this. I'm sorry to say that. The writing is good, the story is good, but it's everything I've seen before. But still, I enjoy myself because I'm a sucker for this. But like the Fae world, the human world, the girl that is human that goes to the Fae, and will she remain human? Will she be Fae? Will she be something else? There are so many things. The romance was so already seen everywhere. So no, I said fourth book. So 1, 2, 3. It's the fourth book I read. Sorry. Let's go to the next one. Next book I read was a reread, but I've read this many years ago, and it was even in my... I only bought the first book. I even put it on my unhaul pile to sell it someday, but then I decided, no, I want to reread this and give a chance to the series because it's well known and well loved. And this series is The Remnant Chronicles by Mary Epperson, the first book being The Kiss of Deception. I love these covers, by the way, and also the floppiness. I love that. So I started this, and I didn't have book 2 and 3. And in the meantime, they changed the covers. They are pretty, but they're not like this. And so I was on a quest to find book 2 and book 3 with the old covers. If I have time, I will tell you a little bit of an anecdote about the third book. So anyway, I started reading this. Classic YA fantasy. A princess is supposed to marry a prince from another kingdom for an alliance. She doesn't want to, so she escapes to have a new life, like in anonymously somewhere else in the kingdom. She goes with her maid, but what she doesn't know is that 2 men are going to follow her and try to find her. One is the prince himself, who wants explanations, and the other one is an assassin sent to kill her. And we have the 3 points of view in the book. So we have Leah, the princess, and we also have Roth and Caden. We don't know who of Roth and Caden is the prince or the assassin. The first time I read this, I had suppositions, but I was wrong, and this time around, I was right. I didn't remember who I saw was Wu, but I know that I was wrong, because you only learn at the very end who is Wu. And it was very great. I gave it 3.5, I think. I didn't write down the ratings for this video because I'm a loser. Then I read something else, because when I finished this, I didn't receive the second book yet. So I started another series that I plan on rereading, which is on my Kindle, which is the Steel and Stone series by Annette Marie. The first one being Chase the Dark. It's an urban fantasy where humans coexist with demons. It's not demons, it's demons. It's a bit different. And this girl wants to be a consul, which is, the consulates are like hotels for demons who come to the human world. And she wants to become a consul, but she doesn't have magic when she's supposed to have magic. But anyway, everything starts when, one day, her father gives her a stone, and she's supposed to stay put during a meeting, an official meeting, where something very precious and rare that was guarded in the consulate is supposed to be given to another person. I don't remember. And everything goes to shit starting from there. Okay. It's very readable. It's very nice. I think I give it 3.5 stars. I like the writing style of Annette Marie, and it's very nice. Then I received book 2! Yay! I bought it on a second-hand app called Vinted. Maybe you know it. And they sell mostly clothes and stuff like this, but they also sell books, and I found it for a cheap price. Book 2 was a bit less interesting than book 1. I didn't like... There is a character called the Commissar. If you know, you know. I didn't like his personality. I didn't like everything that happened where she is. It was kind of difficult to read, to be honest. That was the last book I read in September. I gave it 3 stars only, but it was still readable. I'm still interested. I'm reading book 3 at the moment. And so the little story about book 3. I take some meds to help me sleep, and sometimes I do things when I'm a little bit confused, let's say. And I bought the third book, twice, in 2 different places, which I didn't want to do. So I wanted to return it, but I couldn't because I made some mistakes. It's a mess. But one is the floppy paperback, which is the one I wanted. The other one is the hardback edition. I'm trying to sell it again, but we'll see. Well, don't have much time, so I'll see you next time for my October.